Very good morning. I am indeed delighted to participate in the fourth convocation of the Jain University. At the onset, I greet the Honorable Chancellor, Dr. G. Krishnadas Nair, a very good friend and colleague of mine, Vice Chancellor Dr. Sundarajan, Registrar Professor Krishnan, Directors, esteemed faculty members, proud parents, dear graduating students, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My heartiest congratulations to the graduating students who are passing out from the portals of this prestigious university. As you walk into the open world, you will realize the strength you have gained through the quality education imparted to you by this dedicated faculty of world class. I take this opportunity to congratulate all the faculty members, students and staff of the university and all those who have contributed in promoting good educational standards in this university. Since I am in the midst of prospective scientists, technologists, psychologists, philosophers and so on, I've been thinking around some important areas which I consider vital for our country. The critical technologies for India could be strategic technologies, advanced manufacturing and process technologies, knowledge-intensive technologies, biotechnologies, nanoelectronics, nanobiotechnologies, and so on. Among these technologies, my foremost thoughts are filled with the advancements in aerospace technologies and their exploitation. You may consider me selfish and self-centered because I belong to that fraternity. Accordingly, I would like to share with you a few thoughts on the topic of challenges in aerospace technologies, probably an Indian perspective. But before that, let's look at the way India is emerging as a champion. It is in the process of becoming technological force with all-round growth in the sectors of economy, namely agriculture, product manufacturing, textiles, transport, communication, power and service sector. There is considerable advancement in our defense services, capabilities in terms of high technology products and equipment. Today we are leading nation in information technology and has strong base in software development. Similarly, there have been advancements in aerospace technologies and their application in different walks of life. Knowledge, indeed, is the foundation for leading our country into a developed nation. For this, the time is right because of the increasing trend of the economy, availability of great institutions for capacity building of the human resources such as IITs, NITs, and excellent institutions of higher learning like Jain universities and abundant natural resources. Further, we have a force of more than about 540 million youth who are determined to make the quality of life better with prosperity and happiness. With this background, India must take the lead in mobilizing and integrating knowledge resources for its transformation into a nation of advanced technologies, bringing stability, prosperity and peace. Towards this destination, aerospace technologies form the backbone and vital supporting infrastructure. What is the inspiration? The inspiration for India's science and technology base has been right from the early days of 1950s, when its first Prime Minister, the visionary Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who gave high priority and thrust for the evolution of scientific temper through establishing science and technology centers like IITs. Simultaneously, he created a large number of industries in power generation, steel, manufacturing, fertilizer production, and initiated work in space, atomic energy and defense research. This is also a period when great scientific personalities like Sir C.V. Raman, Dr. Krishnan, Dr. Bhatnagar, Dr. Homi Bhabha, Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, Mohan Lewis, Dr. Kothari, Meghna Saha, S.N. Bose and Dr. Nairuma were laying the foundation for the modern Indian science. The inspiration provided by these leaders has enabled India to generate large number of scientists who are contributing today to the basic scientific research and also in application of science and technology for social upliftment. I would like to share some of the major impacts of science and technology to the society in our country. Professor Vikram Sarabhai's space vision has enabled India to acquire the capability to design, develop, build and launch any type of satellite from Indian soil. Today India has completed its journey around Moon and Mars. Professor Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar created multiple CSIR laboratories in various disciplines for developing and transferring the technology to Indian industry. Dr. Kothari was in the mission of creating a chain of DRDO laboratories for promoting self-reliance in critical defense technologies and strategic sectors. This was further strengthened by the phenomenal efforts of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, the missile program. The youth powered with computer knowledge has led to the revolution in information technology. The initiatives of pharma industry have led to produce internationally competitive drugs from new molecules. Similarly, capacity building in high technologies, education and research got a flip through institutions like Indian Institute of Science, Indian Institute of Technology, National Institute of Technology, Center of Excellence in Medical Research and other scientific disciplines. Over the years, the Indian scientific and educational institutions have evolved partnership in research and development with many leading institutions in various parts of the world. Indian National Academy of Science, Indian Science Congress, Indian National Academy of Engineering, Indian Aeronautical Society are playing an important role in promoting research and development among our youth. What is the current environment? The path we traveled as a nation in all fronts brought us to a situation where we need to blend the results of an ascending economy, continuously rising foreign exchange reserves, controlled inflation, global recognition of our technology competence, energy of now 540 has come down to 380 million youth, umbilical connectivities of 23 million people of Indian origin in various parts of this planet, with potential sharing capacity of knowledge and resources, and interest shown by many developed countries to invest in our engineers and scientists through setting up of manufacturing plants and establishing new research and development centers through direct investments, all happening at one time. India, as the largest democracy in the world, has a reputation for its democracy and for providing leadership to 1 billion people with multicultural and multi-religious backgrounds. The Indian economy is growing with an average annual GDP growth rate of 6 to 7% except in 2013. There is a need to ensure that growth rate has to be increased to over 10% of GDP and sustain it at least for a decade. Simultaneously, the benefits of growth have to be equitably distributed for realizing the goals of transforming India into a developed nation. I strongly believe that science through technology enhances the comfort and quality of human life, and its application of science and technology is vital for accomplishing this mission. Let's look at the aerospace technologies. Development of aerospace technology is vital for defense and civilian applications. They are also critical for developing products and systems required in communication, transportation and exploration of Earth's resources and natural resources and minerals. Medical electronics is also supported through aerospace technologies. The advancement in aerospace electronics are the mother of all commercial electronics. The materials developed for aerospace applications find wide usage in commercial applications. I would like to present some of the critical technologies which can translate and structure major events in our development, wealth, prosperity, strength and quality of life. Let's look at the space technologies. The nature had given us great resources for energy, but our continuous exploitation of the resources for energy is leading to depletion of natural resources like fossil fuels. Our continuous excessive usage of hydrocarbons is leading to global warming and deprivation of energy in future. The effects of global warming associated with rise in the sea level are going to threaten the existence of humanity in many continents, with vast proportions of Earth likely to be submerged in the sea. Other non-conventional sources of power are not cost-effective and require huge investments. It is time that we look towards alternate resources from space and other planets too. Let's look at, for this purpose, at reusable launch vehicles. Today, the main hindrance for the exploration of space is the prohibitive cost of launch, which is almost about $30,000 per kilogram of payload involved with space missions due to very low payload fractions of the space launch vehicles. Hence, our space utilization is limited to communication, meteorology, navigation, and remote sensing besides the military applications. The solar system and space have abundant resources. It is reported that mining and energy could be the viable economic options at a later date. To achieve this, the payload fractions of the launch vehicles have to be improved, with cost per kg to come down from today's $30,000 to $40,000 per kilogram to less than $2,000 per kilogram. Answer is hyperplane. High payload fractions at low cost would be possible only if we have either single stage to orbit or two stage to orbit vehicles that are reusable and use atmospheric oxygen by liquefaction during flight. The vehicles can take off with scramjet engines, carry only liquid hydrogen, collect and use oxygen during the flight and return back after the mission. These vehicles will be used for multiple roles, for low-cost access to space for exploration and exploitation, and as future executive jets for transcontinental air transportation. Space solar power is possible with this kind of an application. Space solar power is the next possible energy solution being tried out by many countries. The system involves deploying satellites with large solar panels in space, transmit power through microwaves or lasers to the ground, and reception at ground with receiver antenna. The space solar power would be available continuously as the system can be located at a number of places to get exposure throughout and is not affected by the vagaries of day and night cycles. Space security is emerging as another major challenge. It's being utilized for communications, navigation, surveillance, remote sensing, imaging, disaster management, and many other military and civilian applications. Economic growth is strongly linked to space assets. New changes in military doctrines like revolution in military affairs, RMA we call it, encompassing network-centric warfare largely dependent upon the availability of the robust and reliable space-based systems. However, it also leads to vulnerability in case space assets are denied by our adversaries in the event of a conflict. This calls for building the technologies for launch on demand with minimum reaction time, nano and mini satellites with dedicated and customized functionalities with a short lifespan of approximately 6 months to 1 year. Also, we need to protect our space assets against the different type of attacks, namely electronic warfare, kinetic energy kill of satellites, and temporary disruption or denial. Offensive technologies like anti-satellite systems are also required to be developed. The past decade has seen unprecedented growth in air transportation. Due to higher competition, the future air travel needs to be cheaper by adopting latest technologies. Employment of lighter materials like composites and titanium would help in higher payload fractions for the same all-of weight. Design propulsion systems with a higher accuracy with least noise and emissions would help in achieving higher utilization of airspace. The advanced navigation systems with global positioning systems and automated guidance and control systems would enhance air safety. Better instrumentation, including automated takeoff and landing systems, would help operations irrespective of climate conditions. The present-day aircraft rely heavily on automation. The fly-by-wire FADEC have already reduced dependency on the pilot. The centralized condition monitoring systems and integrated vehicle health monitoring systems linked to the network helps in monitoring the health of the systems without grounding the aircraft for maintenance, thus improving the profitability. One of the major areas of improvement in civil aviation is breaking the sound barrier. Though Concorde has been in use in the past, its phase-out has once again limited air travel to subsonic speeds. With changing demographics and the necessity for faster travel, the supersonic transport aircraft are must for the future transportation. Employing the hypersonic executive jets using the hyperplane design concept will drastically reduce the time of travel between continents, and with hypersonic travel being made more affordable. Let's look at the requirement of regional transport aircraft for our country. India is one of the growing aviation market. Large number of civil aircrafts are being procured by increasing number of airlines. Most of them are servicing the trunk routes. There is a requirement to develop regional transport aircraft for short-haul domestic routes. Experience of LCA and other military aircraft development programs needs to be harnessed for development and production of the RTE under Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi's Make in India program. Participation of private industries, commercial airlines, academic institutions and funding agencies in collaboration with international partners will set up a strong basis in the country for design, development and production of civil aircrafts. Era is emerging for unmanned micro and mini air vehicles. UAVs are like robots, and robots compete best for those jobs that are repetitive, hard, with a high pay-to-skill ratio, and perhaps dangerous. These vehicles are small in size and perform all actions with minimum or little human interaction. Though they are used mainly for military applications, their usage in other disaster recovery and reconnaissance is on increase. The challenge is in miniaturization of components with high efficiency to provide long endurance of systems. Usage of advanced materials with microelectronics has seen new generation of micro air vehicles being put to use. The concept of rotocopters, miniaturized helicopters, provide the ability to land and operate from any small place. These units would be extremely helpful in undertaking hazardous missions where human lives cannot be kept at stake. However, the challenge in realization of these vehicles is development of micro and nano sensors with multiple functionalities in a single unit. These should be very light, consume least power and operate at highest reliability. In future, more and more applications of UAVs are envisaged with equal challenges in developing technologies for these vehicles. Let's look at the IT structure and its convergence. The information technology and communications have been declared as the achievements of the past decade with transformation of human life. The computational speeds have grown dramatically with compilation and storage of data in the smallest possible media. We have witnessed the processor performance doubling every 18 months, the network bandwidth doubling every year, and the storage capacity doubling every 9 months. It is estimated that by 2020 itself, we have a computation system that have multi-core processors working at 60 GHz, clock rates, terabytes of main storage memory, supercomputing at more than 200 petaflops of operation, leading to hexascale machines. Multilingual terabyte connectivity at PC and gigabyte of wireless. Major breakthroughs will emerge with integration of CMOS with silicon photonic devices to improve the latency of every single operation, reduction in size and power consumption in supercomputers, data centers and fiber optic smart networks. The convergence between systems has seen integration of all systems for practically all possible areas of humanity. The artificial intelligence has seen computers coming close to the human brain. The day is not far when computer overtakes human and we have robots for superior functions than humans with advancement in nanotechnology, materials and biotechnology and sensors. Micro and nano devices are the electronic sensors that are miniaturized with multiple functionalities. They are realized through spatial fabrication techniques like sputtering, vacuum deposition and so on. They are light in weight and occupy least volume. They combine many functionalities on a single chip and are integrated into a single chip. Future aerospace systems would be integrated with MEMS and nano devices for better reliability. Besides aerospace, these devices have already revolutionized the medical diagnostics and surgical instruments. Carbon nanotubes and nanotubes of carbon are of diameters of 1 nanometer. They are the strongest and stiffest materials with high tensile strength and elastic modulus. Metallic nanotubes are superconductors with electric current densities more than 1,000 times of silver and copper. They are also very good thermal conductors. They have a wide variety of uses from structural applications like concrete, polythene, ultra-high speed equipment, electromagnetics like transistors, superconductors and so on. The advances in bio-nanotechnologies will lead to usage of nanomaterials in bioengineering leading to convergence with direct applications in medicine in terms of drug release mechanisms and tissue engineering. Network-centric warfare is emerging as the order of the day as far as the military is concerned. It is the latest technology adopted by military which derives advantage from information technology by networking all the sensors, resources and automating the processes that spread across continents. This would help in better information sharing among the forces, better situational awareness and synchronization of events and optimal use of resources. This improves the effectiveness of the centralized command and control systems in dealing with complex army situations in automated mode. The systems involve robust multimodal communication systems, encryption, authentication, sensor fusion and decision-making process. How do we harness all these technologies? The universities and academic institutions are engaged in conceptualization and creation of these new technologies in terms of science and technology. Industry is the agency which translates these science and technology into products and processes and services useful to the mankind. On analysis of countries' requirements, I would like to suggest the following. Academic institutions to pursue direct basic research in focused areas. The industry to take lead in converting the results of the basic research from academia into products and systems. Towards this, the industry has to change and transform into a new form or new entity with a changed mindset. And it has to graduate from a component level manufacturer to a system level manufacturer. It also needs to invest funds and establish facilities to convert results of the basic research to applied sciences and technologies, and from applied sciences and technologies to new product development and production of the numbers. Industry is to sponsor some of the engineers to academic institutions and also accommodate academicians in the industry. Exchange is going to be mutually beneficial. It is therefore mutual understanding between the two organizations. It is possible to harness all the advancements in science and technology for the benefit of our people. In this context, there are two modes: university-industry, direct interaction model, and university R&D and industry interaction model. University-industry model, if you look at that, the academic institutions and universities produce a continuous stream of research results and innovations. They also act as incubators for evolution of new technologies and new products required by the clusters like SMEs, MSMEs and so on. The industry in its competitive environment needs continuous improvements in their product features, its performance in manufacturing the product. To make these improvements, industry needs support by way of innovations. Innovations in new product design and in product manufacturing create profits and wealth for the industry. Universities and academic institutions are sources for this innovation. The industry in its competitive environment can utilize the research data for formulating its new product or new manufacturing processes. The interaction with academic institutions can further lead to the next level of working. In this, the industry needs to have an in-house product development facility to convert basic research to applied science and technology and into new products and processes. If expectations of both parties are matching with existing facilities, feasibilities and constraints, this arrangement will produce enormous results beneficial to both academic institutions and industry. The second model is university, R&D institutions and the industry. In case of new product development, especially in context of large systems, in the development large complex product systems, or in the case where technologies are nascent in nature requiring tuning and adjustments, the combination of academics, R&D and industry will help in system development. The R&D organizations interface with universities and work to convert basic research into applied science and technology and to the new products and processes. The industry can take up productionization and scaling up of activities leading to economic and competitive production. The process of working will be a consortium approach. The entire process develops a coherent synergy into that region or sector. There have been many aerospace programs where products and systems have been developed and products in this manner. In this model, the R&D organization facilitates cross-fertilization of the basic research into applied science and technology on one side and facilitate product development and production on the other side. So it becomes kind of a very synergistic environment. But all this requires investment. To translate collaborative working of universities, industry and some funds need to be invested appropriately. With the advancement of computers, modeling and simulation, the funds requirement will be minimum and confined to expenditure on materials, equipment and specific equipment for basic research. Academic institutions also need allocation of some minimum funds to build essential infrastructure to interact with outside agencies and industry. Industry needs to plan the development of new products and associated technologies and allocate funds and time for the same. Some of the critical technologies identified in case of aerospace are carbon-carbon composites, parallel processing, phased array radars, millimetric wave and IIR systems, inertial guidance systems, fly-by-wire control systems, gallium arsenide devices, VLSI technologies and ASICs, and smart weapons, hypersonic projectiles, fiber optics, ceramics and metal composites, MEMS and nanotechnologies, and scramjet propulsion systems. Towards this, industry needs a simple structure arrangement through its R&D division or a design division to interface and interact with the academic institutions. The R&D institutions can be internal to the production agency or it can be external agency. In our experience, this arrangement of interfacing has reduced industry efforts towards development of new products. Government and industry need to invest the requisite funds on development and testing infrastructure to derive these benefits. I consider an investment of something like 1500 crores per year at the national level would be required for development of such critical technologies. Clarity in work definition and deliverables makes the interaction process between academia and industry simple and rewarding. To conclude, science and technology has in the last century made an unprecedented impact on the life of human race. It is heartening to see the rapid developments that are taking place in our country during the last 3 decades. We believe the knowledge and benefits can bring to our living. I am also aware of the aspirations and hardships of our people and the great expectations they have for improving their quality of life. My dear young friends, there are enough intellectual challenges ahead as we undertake several new developments and newer programs. As we traverse through the passage of excellence, the domain of science and technology is truly exciting, challenging and rewarding as it opens a multidisciplinary approach to the problems. Of course, it demands people with great intellect and even greater determination and commitment. I see a sea of enlightened faces in front of me who definitely have those to be part of this exciting world in some way or the other. The younger generation must play the crucial role in realizing India's aspiration for global leadership, and I am sure you will rise to the occasion. Mahatma Gandhi said, and I quote, "The difference between what we do and what we are capable of doing would suffice to solve most of the world's problems." Unquote. I strongly believe we need to heed this message to realize our fullest potential. Let us join together in action to improve our productivity, wealth and quality of life through harnessing the results of science and technology explored at our national institutions. I stop here. I hope your dreams take you to the corners of your smiles, to the highest of your hopes, to the windows of your opportunities, and to the most special places your heart has ever known. Wishing you all for a bright future and for fulfillment of your technology. I thank the management of Jain University, especially our beloved Dr. Krishnadas Nair, for having given me this opportunity to share some of the views of mine. Wish you all the very best. Jain.